Guten Abend allerseits. Welcome back to Tom Plays EU4 for absolute beginners. We are back with Austria and we are fighting to protect Constantinople, or the Latin Empire as it's currently being called. So I do think we want to be pretty careful with this, because the ideal for us would be Hungary's army getting severely damaged and ours not being. Our army getting damaged could be dangerous from a coalition perspective, but also we want to attack Hungary. But we also don't want Hungary to lose any land, so let's get our army as powerful as possible, and I might just park them here for now, even though we're going to take damage by being here. Because our main concern is still making sure Hungary doesn't lose any land. But I would definitely like Hungary to do the heavy lifting on this one. Luxembourg has left the military coalition. Now the other thing we could do with doing, ideally, let's pull our diplomat back, is trying to make friends with Poland while we're in the middle of this. So we've got this new alert, which I hadn't mentioned, costly trade embargoes. This is very expensive. It basically means that we announced a trade embargo against Poland while they were our rival. That's actually in the trade screen. Embargoes on others. So we need to go to Poland and revoke that. So let's just revoke that embargo, because that will be costing us money. Now hypothetically we should now issue one on Bohemia, who is now our rival. I'm expecting to have to revoke it relatively soon. We'll see. Yeah, it's interesting how a lot of you are hanging around out there. Have we all got the same idea here? Are we all waiting for the other one to do the heavy lifting? I'm guessing Moldavia is... Oh no, they've joined individually. Oh, they are guaranteed by Poland. Yeah, sometimes they are a vassal or in a personal union with Poland. Right, can I start improving relations with Poland? I can't. Right. I think because we've already sent a diplomat, so let's just try to take someone else out of the coalition. Memmingen. Hopefully by the time this war is over, we can be friendly with Poland at least. And the coalition will have collapsed. Right, let's tentatively take a bit of land. I might run away immediately, because we have an advantage if we're on a castle as well, an allied castle. Alright, Hungary is going to get the land anyway. I think they would have done it in any case, so... Okay, Mainz has left the military coalition, that's good. Going to keep improving relations with them though. And manpower like 8. Okay. So we don't need to be in too many more battles before they will start losing actual army size. Unfortunately, they're picking everyone off at the moment. And the computer's all flocking to where I am, which is annoying. I mean, I suppose under normal circumstances that would make sense and be an actual good thing. But at the moment, because I'm not actually planning to be that much help. In fact, I think I'm going to go back here. Okay. And this one's military access. I suppose I don't mind that much. Oh, apparently we're occupying Aragasa. That's nice. Do you have to think how many princes we're going to have lost once this coalition is over? Okay, so I think Poland is mostly rushing to protect their own lands now. Well, no, technically Moldova, but it's getting close to their own lands. Hungary seems to be wandering around doing nothing much, and everyone else is just allowing the Ottomans to pick them off one by one. They've done barely any damage to the Ottomans at all. I'm beginning to wonder if joining in here was a mistake, because my allies are a bit dumb. And I, of course, am still unwilling to actually pull my own weight. Oh, this looks good. They might actually make some progress on this one. Oh no, because Poland's going to wander in entirely the wrong direction, while the Papal State gets wiped out. Impressive. Yep. Oh no, Hungary is actually coming to help. Good grief. Someone behaving sensibly. So it looks like the Ottomans actually need to lose a battle in order to lose some manpower. So Latin Empire themselves joining in. Oh good, everyone's joining in. Well, I'm certainly not demanding anything from Mainz. Right, so the Ottomans have just lost a battle, so presumably their manpower will start going down. That's good anyway. Okay, let's check these. Ansbach will not accept a demand for unlawful territory, and they are in the coalition. Right, so I shan't be doing anything about that then. We're down to 57 princes, so it's possible we didn't eat anyone anyway. But yeah, this looks good. It looks like... let's tentatively put the time up a little. Oh, the manpower still hasn't gone down. Maybe they're using mercenaries. Should make sense, but it does look like the tide might be turning a little at least. My manpower is not at maximum. Kind of wondering at what point I should actually join in, and maybe now. I may regret this. Complaints about bailiff? I either lose legitimacy or I ignore the complaints and lose stability. I think I'll risk the legitimacy. Although that isn't great. We do want the highest legitimacy we can get as Austria. Okay, is there anywhere of a decent supply limit? There is not. But on the other hand, Hesse has left the military coalition. Just thinking maybe if I sit here for a bit, people might... Oh, France has left. Right, that more or less has to be the end of a military coalition now, I think. I'm not sitting here any longer because it looks like the Ottomans are getting a bit closer. I'm going with the appallingly cowardly approach today. Improved relations with Poland. Memmingen has left. Excellent. Yeah, manpower still hasn't gone down, but the soldiers have. Okay. Oh, that's good. Hungary's involved. It's a little harsh, but tactically, really, what I want to do is reduce the sizes of everyone involved, army-wise, apart from ourselves. So, while I didn't mind chipping in a little, it does kind of look like this is going to go badly for the Ottomans in any case, which is good. Oh cool, Serbia. So much so, and I might actually speed things up a little more. Okay, left Memmingen. Let's keep at it. Landshut. Nope, finish with Milan. I mean, Venice may end up becoming a problem actually. This apparently successful attack they're doing. Who else do we have? Nuremberg. Nuremberg's quite a good one because they're a free city, so we can't do much with them apart from be friendly. I could in theory go over there and try and help with that siege. It's a little risky, but it's something we can actually do that contributes. And I have no particular need for Poland or Moldavia to get less powerful. Okay, Serbia has made peace with them. To be fair, they are being hammered by the by Venice as well. So that's very understandable. But yeah, doing a siege will do a little bit of damage to our army, but it will also hopefully turn the tide of the war a little earlier. I'm still a little torn. Ooh. Travelling minstrel. Okay, so we can gain stability. Or we can gain a cheap skill-free artist and some prestige. I don't think we can afford that though. Much as I'd like the prestige, I think the stability might actually benefit us more. We had a third option there where we often wouldn't have because of the personality traits of Friedrich. Okay, so this is a new one. We can enact a government reform. So these sort of happen throughout the game. They're generally positive. We have a special one to start with, the Austrian Archduchy, which we're probably going to stick with. Got a few options here. They're not something I'm going to get into in any major way. I think for this one, I'm just going to curtail noble privileges to give us more taxes and reduce their influence. Nice simple benefit for us. But yeah, they're the sort of thing like the privileges that you could really benefit from looking into, or checking out a more advanced guide. And we can summon the diet. So let's do that. Okay. Got some decent options. However, the proposal of the burgers, I think, would play into our gaining the Renaissance. And I think they're still one of the least loyal estates. So let's go with them again. Increase production in Goetz. There we go. It's also giving us some extra money, which is always a plus. So yeah, I think go with that one because it gets us closest to the Renaissance. Provence has left the military coalition. This is all good. Frankfurt, yeah, it's definitely falling apart. Might even run back to Wien after this siege is over. Looks like Poland is leading the charge here. Mulhauser. Landshut, that's good. Can hopefully get back to worrying about the Empire. Yeah, Ottomans are down to 0 manpower. I don't think they need us anymore at all. But I will happily finish this siege off. Ironically, even though we're barely involved, we're still getting the credit for some of the bits of land that have been occupied. I don't know if that's because Milan's taken them. If I haven't seen anyone from Milan yet. But in theory, they do like us now, so... Oh, there they are. There's Milan. Yeah, it might be because Milan's taking them. So that's counted as being us taking them. Which is nice. Thanks, Milan. You're making us look better than we are. But yeah, I think if we head back to Wien after this, maybe even split our army up, because I don't think the Ottomans are a threat anymore, we can hopefully be building our manpower for the end of the war, when we will hopefully attack Hungary. Assuming the coalition's over, they'll probably immediately plunge us back into a coalition. But I don't want to leave it too much longer. Okay, so let's head back to Wien. It doesn't have enough supply limit for our 32,000 army, so we may still want to split up. Slightly annoyingly, the Ottomans are now making headway into Hungary, but I don't think they're going to actually take any land. So I think we're fine. Thing is, I don't necessarily want the Ottomans to lose too badly either. At this stage, I'd rather they lost to us. Ooh. I suppose 15 might be enough if you've got a general. No, there's a school there. 16, I don't want them too far away in case we do get attacked. Right, no schools, that's the main thing. Because if you look at our manpower, we can have up to 63,000. A bit more, so there's some building we can do. So while these guys are tearing the Ottomans apart, the Ottomans are sneakily sieging a castle. But I'm sure they'll notice eventually. We're way ahead in the war. I think the Ottomans will likely be making peace before too long. I mean, we could try to make a separate peace, but then... Ooh, alliance. Excellent. If we ally Poland, they may help us against Hungary. That's good. Right, let's finish this coalition off. Trent. Trent have good reason to think that we might attack them. Galvera. They might accept it. But then, do we need them to? What would we be asking for? Utrecht. Does Utrecht exist? I don't think Utrecht does. Right, let's demand Utrecht. And hopefully... Yeah, you see, we're down to 53 princes now, so this has been... You can't move this window. That's annoying. This coalition's actually been incredibly damaging for the Empire. But hopefully that'll come up to 54 with Utrecht being back. Ansbach has left. I wonder if we can risk demanding something from the Palatinate. Oh, good grief, they've eaten Trier. They've eaten Trier. Right, we should definitely try and get them to bring... No, apparently we can't. The Palatinate is our ally. Right, let's royal marry them. Actually, thinking about it, I have a feeling that Brandenburg wasn't backing us. But, right, so we've actually lost an Elector, which is really bad for our imperial authority. So, as a general rule, it'd be better to have an Elector down here, because they're more likely to stay Catholic. But then can we risk it when we haven't reined them in yet? You see, I'd like to do Siena, because we've already reined them in. I see Florence has been happily eating people. Okay, who's very likely to remain Catholic? Hard to say. Check we haven't lost any free cities either. I don't suppose I can just offer myself the electorate, can I? Although we're probably going to... I can't even... Oh, of course, yeah. You do it here. No, I can't. We're probably going to usurp Bohemia's anyway. Augsburg is a bishopric, so if we can talk them round a bit. Actually, maybe even Trent might be a good option. I just worry about Trent because we've got a permanent claim on them. So yeah, right, let's stop improving relations with Poland because we've allied them. So I think we're good as far as Poland goes, and let's maybe look for Augsburg. Half tempted by 3 leagues just because we often need to pass through them anyway, and they already kind of like us. Now let's go with 3 leagues. It's like they're kind of our access to Milan. Them and Switzerland. Okay, so Trier no longer exists for the time being, and 3 leagues is an Elector. So that's good. Why is the Palatinate backing Bohemia? Okay, well, Hesse's support has fallen apart anyway. So at the moment, Bohemia's in the running, but we are working on Brandenburg, so... And I will start working on the Palatinate forthwith, in fact. Good grief. Right. Yeah, that's really fallen apart. Okay, they're dealing with the Ottomans now. Right, hopefully this will sort out our problems in the Empire. Hopefully this war will be over soon. As will the coalition. Ooh. Okay, cheap skill 2 diplomatic reputation. That is good. I think we should go with that. I don't think we need him just yet. Although diplomatic reputation is more valuable. But I might just keep him in reserve for now. It's going to be interesting if the Latin Empire becomes a force to be reckoned with. And maybe we can marry them. That's the standard Habsburg way of dealing with things. Okay. Yeah, generally better to try to do something. And we can afford it at the moment anyway. They're taking damage. I'm going to move them to Crane. I know they won't take damage in Crane, and there's no longer... I'm not even slightly worried about the Ottomans making it to Austria now. Salzburg's left the coalition. Venice has left the coalition. Rothenburg, this looks like it might be collapsing. Oh, this is good. The Ottomans looks like they're keeping us bottled into the Balkans with their ships. Got quite a powerful navy, the Ottomans. Made up of galleys like ours? Right, brilliant. So the Ottoman conquest is over. We've got a royal marriage offer from Poland, we definitely want that. So they're ceding some land to the Latin Empire. Not too much. Florence has left the coalition. Which is ironic because I would be delighted to attack them, but maybe next time. Munich. Yeah, that's thoroughly collapsing now. 6 members left. Do we still have our casus belli? We do. Can't get Poland to join in there. Which is a shame, but then Hungary's allies don't look that scary. And then manpower is absolute garbage. So I'm pretty sure we can do it. Yep, looks like the coalition has completely collapsed now. Brilliant, no more coalition. And now we're about to completely wreck that by taking Hungary. That's where are we up to? Right, we are neck and neck with Bohemia. In terms of who likes us. So I might as well fulfill this mission now, honestly. It's got the restoration casus belli, which we already had. So I'm going to just have one big army and go straight in for pest. Might take down these... Oh no, they're Catholic zealots. Alright, in that case I won't take them down. Right. Get Brandenburg and the Palatinate to join me. I need my diplomat back from one of you. Let's go with the Palatinate. Well, sorry Milan, you're going to have to deal with that by yourselves. You have shown yourselves to be fully capable, and that's a very small army compared to the last one. Oh, trustworthy allies is good. That's given us a very cheap diplomat. But it's also improved our diplomatic reputation, which is good. Okay. Well, given we have a very cheap diplomat, let's go for the +2 diplomatic reputation person we just got. Because diplomatic reputation should actually be quite helpful. And actually we can go back to improving relations with the Palatinate now. So how are we doing? Right, so now 3 leagues, the Palatinate and Brandenburg are all backing us. So we are safe again. Temporarily, because we don't actually know what effect taking Hungary is going to have. They are quite a long way away from most of the Empire. Bohemia already hates us anyway, so that's not a big issue. Can I demand that the Palatinate reinstate Trier? No, I can't. In fact, I may even have lost that ability now. Okay, we can improve our military, that's good. Should help things a little. I might improve relations with our other allies. So I'll do Burgundy, because we've been neglecting them a bit. And we will go in for Pest. So yeah, Hungary, I'm not sure where their army is, but they were severely weakened by that last war, which we were not. They had almost no manpower. The total army is less than ours anyway. So I think we can safely just attack Pest, leave our allies to do anything else that needs doing. Oh, this is interesting. So hopefully once we have Hungary, we can actually end up making some headway on the Ottomans. I don't suppose we can vassalize these guys, can we? I know they have their own subjects, interesting. Athens. Athens is their subject, fair enough. Oh, maybe later. I can afford to take my time a little here, hopefully, as long as the Duke of Burgundy doesn't die, and he is currently fighting France. So yeah, maybe I can't afford to take the time. Oh, there they are. Right, they're attacking the Palatinate. Well, that's not a big deal. I think we have to get to like 60% war score. Oh, that's not good. Well, not much I can do. Great bullion. Famine. Okay. Yeah, a bunch of stuff we can't do much about. But yeah, even if we're immediately plunged into a war for Burgundy, if we can get Hungary on our side, that's going to help. And bearing in mind, we now have Poland as an ally. Okay, we've got a new building, the marketplace. Not sure I want to go straight for it because we're losing money all the time with the war. I'm still holding off on raising war taxes because of the cost to our military power. Hoping we can stand to cope with the monetary problems more. Okay. I suppose we could actually go in for them. Pretty good for manpower. Ah, Crimea's standing up to the Ottomans. To be fair, the Ottomans are weakened, and Crimea looks pretty enormous. So this is quite different to games I've done before. Okay, Hungary is running away, understandable. But the fact that they've left the siege they were doing actually means they'd have to start from scratch. So that's a good thing. They may be going for Brandenburg. But I don't think we have to get too much higher before we can actually force them into a personal union anyway. Okay, I think we've had this before. Yeah, we don't need another one though. So let's go with this. It just gives us some general benefits down near Venice. So we could actually do some development down there. I don't think I'm going to, but it would be an option. It's interesting. Usually the Ottomans are a huge concern, and now we've got Venice as an almost equal concern. Crimea over here. Odoyev. Peace in our country. Okay, apparently this is peace. So we can get a cheap skill 2 artist, or we can get a skill 3 artist and gain prestige. I don't know, because honestly the skill 2 artist we could probably afford and might be so that might actually be a better option. Sorry Friedrich, I'm not taking advantage of your connections, but I'm worried that we won't be able to afford a skill 3 artist even at half price. Whereas having a skill 2 artist in reserve for when this chap dies might be quite worthwhile. So hopefully when this castle falls we could actually claim victory. We'll have to see. Yeah, no one's attacking our allies. France is still stomping all over Bohemia. Oh, France has lost their Curia controller position. So when that happens, you generally want to put in 5 papal influence for the next one. It's always worth spending 5. So at least gives us some chance of being the next one. But yeah, having the papal state as a Curia controller is generally preferable to having it be France. Okay, national ideas. Still going in for this despite the negatives. So, okay, so this is new. We've got a new alert. Choose idea group. We haven't actually looked at this yet. It's slightly linked towards our technology groups. When you reach certain levels of administrative technology, apart from your other bonuses, you're allowed to choose a national idea. These are an alternative thing you can do with your monarch points, other than the technologies. While you're doing them, you tend to fall behind in the technology, which can be dangerous, especially for military. But if you haven't embraced an institution, they're often a good way to use monarch points that is valuable. So let's have a look at the ideas. As usual, they come in 3 types, and they'll cost the relevant type of monarch points to increase. There's a whole bunch of them. Some are better than others. You can get tier lists of these on videos. that will compare them. For Austria, honestly, there's nothing to think about the first one. You want this one. Diplomatic ideas. Diplomacy is such a massive thing for Austria, at least if we're going with the try to keep the empire going route. So let's just pick diplomatic ideas, and then you'll get an idea of how ideas work as we go along. It generally costs about 400 for each one, 400 monarch points. So this is probably going to take up our diplomatic points for quite some time. At least whenever we haven't embraced the latest institution, which I don't know if we're that close to embracing yet. So yeah, our diplomatic technology is going to be staying still for a while. But yeah, we will get into that as time goes on, such as when we get our first idea. But the ideas are generally a good thing. They do tend to cause random events depending which one you pick. So I think there's one espionage ideas which I often wouldn't pick just because a lot of the random events are negative, even though it would otherwise have pluses for spying and things. Whereas diplomatic ideas, usually the random events you get are positive. Venice is attacking Athens. I thought Athens belonged to the Latin Empire. Oh right, okay. I guess Venice are taking the Latin Empire on. Well, they didn't fight to defend them, to be fair. So I guess that does make sense. Okay, we're not quite up to 60 yet. The Palatinate just got beaten up. But in theory, we should just need to take a couple more pieces of land, and that will hopefully do the trick. Getting our diplomat back. Let's move into pest. Not using the diplomat because I'm expecting to be able to actually win this war pretty much now, because I think it's 60% for a personal union. So if we sue for peace, so I'm not going to suggest demands this time. Oh, I can. Okay, right, no, that does actually work. I wonder if that means it's not going to cause a coalition. So we form a union, and they actually give us some money. And we've also got Croatia. So if we head back to Wien, I'm expecting Croatia to just be absorbed into Hungary. So we do want to... Oh, let's just improve with Milan a little. We do want to start improving relations with Hungary as soon as possible, because at the moment they absolutely despise us. See, we've got this this screen again. It's not too bad. And we're going to want to split our army up as well. But yeah, generally speaking, that is really good. Finished improving with Burgundy. Let's give you your general back just in case. Just going to check this screen. Okay, Bohemia's backing the Palatinate again. That only puts them neck and neck with us though, because Free Leagues is still backing us, so I might just improve relations with Free Leagues. Okay, the Pope is demanding that we hand over our administrative person. I think I'm going to give in. Tolerance of heretics going down isn't going to hurt us because we don't have any heretics in our country yet, and that is going to hurt us a lot. So yeah, let's just hand him over. We lose our advisor, but if you remember, we did have another cheap +2 advisor, this artist. And he actually makes stability costs cheaper. So I'm tempted to try to push us up to a stability of +2 while we've got him. We will need 140 though to do that. Kind of hoping to just get the events where... oh, there we go. This is what we want. So yeah, what basically happens is the Croatian and Hungarian nobility decide to come together, which is brilliant. Okay, so let's stop that. So that inherited thing that was up for a moment is the kind of thing we're going to be hoping for with Hungary, that we'll randomly inherit them at some point. Because of course our too many diplomatic relations has now gone up to 3. Partly because we have now got an alliance with Poland as well as Castile and Burgundy, but also because we've now got Hungary. So yeah, so I'm going to stop there for once we're not going massively over. But yeah, that's brilliant. So we're now looking a lot more powerful. Once we get Hungary fully on board, we will have their rather large army at our beck and call. They don't give us any money though. If you actually look at the screen, Milan actually gives us some money, whereas Hungary does not because they're a personal union, but they will help with our armies, which is absolutely essential as Austria. We should now be in a very good position to deal with Burgundy, and Burgundy seems to be doing better against France now, which is good, because we didn't want France to eat a load of Burgundy, because we are hoping to get them one way or another. And of course at some point we'll be taking Bohemia, which Hungary will be very useful with, as will Poland. So yeah, we've secured Milan. It doesn't look like another coalition is going to form over Hungary, which is brilliant. If they do, we will deal with it. But yeah, so hopefully we've got a little bit of time for things to calm down. Our war exhaustion from the last war is going down. Last 2 wars, I should say, because we more or less went straight into one. And yeah, we can start doing some more peaceful stuff. But yeah, we now have Hungary and Milan, which is fantastic. And we can start looking around us to see what else we can do. And also, hopefully, we're getting close to be able to do the first thing towards integrating the empire, call for Reichsreform. So we need 50 imperial authority for that. So that is brilliant. Could also look at maybe trying to start restoring the number of member states. But yeah, we'll leave that for next time. Thank you for watching, and I will see you then.